working for you.
It's Thursday, April 23rd, and right now it's 6 on Good Morning Indiana.
And rest assured that everyone here at this agency is working as quickly as they can.
Hundreds of thousands of Hoosiers are waiting for unemployment claims. This morning, the message from state leaders as they process your claims. As the number of cases continues to grow in Indiana, Indianapolis leaders are amping up testing. We're live with their plan to test those most at risk. Understanding the coronavirus is an important part of finding a vaccine. How one pediatrician's office is doing their part to help move the process forward.
Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, April the 23rd. I'm Rafael Sanchez, and we continue to practice social distancing. My friend Lauren Casey is in Studio A. My other good friend, Todd Clausen, is in a basement in Indianapolis somewhere. I'm not going to disclose your address, Todd, but good morning to all of you.
Oh, good morning, Rafael. Good morning, Todd. We got to talk about the weather today. Yesterday was beautiful, Todd, but we're taking a little bit of a turn on our Thursday.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a wet day for us. I'm looking at my sectional over here, which is kind of disjointed with my studio in the basement, my TV over here. And I'm like, this will be a good place to be later on this afternoon, just to pop on a TV show or a movie as this rain makes its way into the area. And the rain is making its way into the area right now, spreading in from south and lifting off to the north, as you see on Storm Team 6 radar. And I just went upstairs and looked outside, and a few raindrops now starting to fall in the metro area, and we'll just continue to see more and more rain overspread Marion County throughout the course of the next half hour or so. To the south, light rain falling in Brazil, as well as Greencastle, Bloomington, and Nashville. And there's plenty more rain to come. This is all lifting off towards the northeast, as the center of low pressure is still off here to our west, and this all has to swing its way through the area, and will do so during the course of the day today. We'll go steady rainfall this morning, and then eventually, as we work our way into the afternoon hours, we'll taper it off to scattered showers. Temperatures in the 50s right now. That's where they stay. Temperatures do not move much at all throughout the day today. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic over on the east side. This is I-70, a view here near Sherman Drive. Left side of your screen is traffic moving westbound into the downtown area. That's traveling up to speed and picking up a little this morning. The eastbound lanes, of course, are closed for that long-term NDOT project. Do want to make you aware that the westbound lanes are scheduled to close early tomorrow morning for 30 days. So we'll have both directions closed for a few weeks before the eastbound side set to reopen mid-May. Of course, we'll keep you updated on that ongoing project. But if you are heading out there today and this is part of your commute, you may want to try a detour route before the closure tomorrow. Rafael?
The time now is 6:02, and now to the latest on COVID-19. The Indiana State Department of Health reports 31 new coronavirus deaths. 661 Hoosiers have died since the COVID-19 pandemic began. The health department says there are 394 new coronavirus cases, bringing the total number statewide to 12,438. Now, while the number of new coronavirus cases is lower than we recently seen, the state says that's in part due to a technology issue. They say the lower numbers should not be interpreted as a decline in new infections.
A new coronavirus testing initiative is being launched today and is driven by the city of Indianapolis. Our Alyssa Donovan is joining us live with more on who this project focuses on. Alyssa, good morning to you.
Good morning, Lauren. So the goal of this new initiative is aimed at populations who have been disproportionately impacted by the coronavirus here in Indiana, and specifically here in Marion County and Indianapolis. And we're going to hear more about this new initiative later this morning at an announcement right around 10 a.m. According to the state health department, African Americans make up nearly 17% of COVID-19 cases in Indiana, but just under 10% of the population. State and city leaders have been working with the Indiana Minority Health Coalition, the Black Expo, the Latina Expo, and the Indiana Native American Commission, as well as the LGBTQ community, to improve availability for testing.
Our Office of Minority Health has hosted a series of webinars and focused on COVID-19 to better inform our minority communities about best practices, coping strategies, social determinants of health as they pertain to this novel coronavirus.
The more details on that testing initiative will be announced this morning at 10 a.m. We'll be streaming that on Facebook as well as our website and our app. So you can download those so that you are well aware of what's going on. As of now, 69,000 people have been tested for coronavirus in Indiana. 12,000 of those people have tested positive. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you so much. A much-needed service for our city. RTV6's new initiative, The Rebound Indiana, tackles the issues that you are facing to make it beyond the pandemic. Just a couple of hours ago, I hosted a virtual town hall with the top leaders who are responsible for the payment of unemployment as well as the processing of all of those claims. This morning, 202,000 Hoosiers are receiving unemployment benefits. The state paid out $276 million in benefits this past Friday through Sunday alone. Those 3 days exceed what the state paid out to all Hoosiers in unemployment for the year 2019. The panel also had some great advice, reminding Hoosiers that the best day to renew or to apply for benefits is after Monday. Now, listen, tomorrow is a big day in our state. Gig economy workers who normally don't qualify for unemployment benefits can start claiming their benefits tomorrow. Workforce Development Commissioner Fred Payne walked us through this big process.
That program is designed for individuals who wouldn't ordinarily be eligible for unemployment insurance under our regular program. Self-employed individuals, folks who have limited work history, those individuals who are independent contractors. And what we expect in this new application process is for that individual to go in and to provide us information about who they are, because right now our system doesn't recognize who they are. So we'll be taking a variety of information just to verify who they are, the type of work that they've been doing. Once we receive all of that information, then it kind of goes through our process of evaluating. And then around the week of May 8th, those who are eligible, because we have to work and determine eligibility and really cross-reference wage records, or better yet, employment records or employment data from revenue services and other entities to prove or to demonstrate the amount of money that was made by that entity before. And then payments will start being dispersed around the first week or the week beginning May 8th. And all of that's contingent upon the person going through the process, providing us with all the information, and then being eligible for those payments.
We had a big discussion. We talked about for 45 minutes or so. I did ask Commissioner Payne if he had a message for those Hoosiers who at this moment are still waiting for their claims to be approved. Here's what he had to say.
The one thing that I would say is continue to be patient with us, and rest assured that everyone here at this agency is working as quickly as they can under the circumstances that we have.
So if you missed the virtual town hall, and we know it's a lot of information, and tomorrow is really a big day for a lot of Hoosiers, we have all of this right now on the RTV6 app, as well as our website, theindychannel.com. There's also help this morning for those struggling to pay their mortgages during this pandemic. The Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority is bringing back a resource guide to help people work with lenders and landlords. The state will allow you to tap into a mortgage assistance fund totaling $30 million. You could get up to 6 months of mortgage payment assistance. Now, you can get more information on this big program, which will help many people, by calling 877-GET-HOPE. Again, 877-GET-HOPE, or by visiting 877gethope.org. This hotline, by the way, was used after the 2008 housing crisis.
Raphael, at 6:09 this morning, Tyson Fresh Meat says they're temporarily closing the Cass County facility. The company says it decided to shut down this Logansport plant because of worker absenteeism, COVID-19 cases, and community concerns. All 2,200 employees will be tested for the coronavirus while the plant is closed. Tyson hasn't said whether anyone is already tested positive. The company says workers impacted by the shutdown down will still get paid. It's unclear when this plant will reopen. A Central Indiana senior care facility is sharing what it's doing to protect residents and staff members during this pandemic. RTV6 reached out to Decatur Township Genesis Healthcare after an Indianapolis woman shared her story with us. Abby Ariramo says that her mother lives at this facility and tested positive for COVID-19 this week, and she's now on a ventilator. The center tells RTV6 it's following guidelines set up by the Centers for Disease Control to prevent the spread of the virus. That includes screening residents and patients for symptoms 3 times a day, screening and taking temperatures of staff members before they enter the building, and requiring all staff to wear personal protective equipment.
Doctors across the country are hopeful that a new treatment method to fight COVID-19 is working. They're now asking anyone who survived it to get in on the fight against the pandemic. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us with details that you need to know about. Kelsey, good morning.
If you are someone who's recently survived the coronavirus, listen up. Your blood right now is filled with antibodies that can fight off this virus and potentially save the lives of those who are currently in the battle against this disease. And doctors want to see you donate plasma so they can transfer it to those patients. They want you to donate plasma so they can transfer those antibodies to patients who are in critical condition. In the last week at IU Health, this method has been tested on 4 patients. One of them was finally extubated after being on a ventilator for more than a week. Dr. Richard Keller recently donated plasma after testing positive for the virus in March. He says the experience was quick, easy, and safe.
But it was, they checked our temperature before we went in, questioned us if I was sick or not. And it was very kind of isolated. There weren't a lot of other patients around. So it's, I think, very, very safe to go donate the plasma. And I would encourage anyone who's COVID positive to look into it.
Dr. Keller says the entire experience took about an hour, and it feels good to know he's helping even more in the fight against this virus. To donate plasma, you have to be at least 28 days symptom-free, and you also need to have a laboratory positive test result saying that you did have the coronavirus. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. The FFA is helping to get food to people in need while also supporting farmers. The Western Boone County Chapter organization is in the middle of Milk and Meat Week. Members hope to raise at least $7,500 to buy milk, beef, and pork from Indiana businesses at discount prices. The food will then be donated to nonprofits to distribute back to the community. Students say the challenges farmers are facing hit close to home.
Seeing farmers dump their milk on the news, and a lot of our parents farm, and a lot of the people that we know in the community and that we're connected to through 4-H and FFA, we're seeing them struggle.
We just wanted to take action during this time to do something. I mean, we're kind of all quarantined at home. We want to make an impact somehow.
Well, the purchases will be spread out over the next few months, and you can find more information at Western Boone FFA's Facebook page. New technology is raising some concerns for residents in Hamilton County. Coming up at 6:15, how you can make your voice heard.
And Lauren, thousands of small business owners are demanding and depending on the Paycheck Protection Program. New at 6:20, why one group of owners are not eligible. So from my living room, now let's check in with Todd Clausen in the basement. Todd, good morning.
Raphael, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Unfortunately, Puddle Ducky, he's back in the forecast, sloshing around in the puddles as we are going to be dealing with rain throughout most of the day. It's going to turn into a fairly wet morning and afternoon. So my best advice is to stay in. Once we get to the evening hours, though, it will be possible to get out and about as the showers become more scattered in nature. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 6:13. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.
For the same flooring, Floors to Your Home, that's who.
Welcome back. RTV6 is working to get answers for people in Fishers who are concerned about 5G technology plans for their neighborhoods. Troy Hammond lives at the Sunblessed Farms in Fishers. He's concerned about this letter he received saying a 5G structure will be going up 200 feet from his home. Call 6 Investigates spoke with several homeowners in Fishers who are worried about the impact on property values as well as the health impacts of 5G technology.
I teach government. I understand when, cities have to make decisions, big decisions and things, but you would think you bring the stakeholders in and let everybody know exactly what's going on. Our neighborhood's certainly not saying, don't move forward with technology. It's just, bring us, if not to the table, certainly into the loop.
We asked Verizon for more information about their plans for Fishers. They told us they're working with local officials to bring upgrades to wireless service that will benefit consumers, businesses, and first responders. Fishers Public Works Board meeting on the 5G issue is scheduled for Monday at 4 p.m. You can submit your comments online. We've included links how to do that right now in the RTV6 app. It's 6:17 on your Thursday. Let's check in with Todd. We have wet weather in our forecast for this Thursday.
Yeah, not the best day for us today, Lauren. Yesterday, of course, was spectacular. A high temperature that got all the way up to 72 degrees. It was beautiful out there with the sunshine. Today, we bring the rain in, and we can actually use a little bit of rain here across the area, and it'll help to knock down the tree pollen that's out there. I know some people suffering, including myself, from allergies right now, so this will help us a little bit, and we're getting some rain in here without the threat of severe weather and without the potential of flooding. So that is always good news. Of course, with everybody sheltering in place and the quarantine at home, obviously you want to get out of your house a little bit. I understand that. And there will be some opportunity, I think, later on this afternoon. Rain now spreading into Crawfordsville, Speedway, Indianapolis, as well as the Franklin area to our southwest. The rain a little more steady, but still light in Martinsville down towards the Bloomington area and into Rockville. This is part of a big storm system that stretches all the way down to the Gulf Coast, and you can see some heavier rain here towards the St. Louis area, making its way into our area later on today. And then as I expand out, here's where all the severe storms are down to our south. This brought some tornadoes to parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana yesterday, but we will avoid all of that. That is the good news. We'll just deal with this light but steady rainfall through a good chunk of the day today. So it continues to overspread the area this morning. The further north you are, especially as you see up here towards Peru and Kokomo, you're going to miss out on a lot of this rainfall. But the further south you are, the more steady it will be. While it's steady, it's going to be light. Once we get to this evening, I would say from about 4 o'clock onward, the showers become a little more spotty in nature. They're still around, though. They're just going to become a little more spotty compared to steady. And then eventually overnight tonight, that's when they all start to move out. Temperatures in the 50s this morning, so we're not in any danger of seeing any wintry precipitation today. The problem is these temperatures just don't move a whole lot throughout the day today. We are just going to remain in the 50s from start to finish for just about everybody, no matter where you are across central Indiana. Today's temperatures will only be a couple degrees apart from each other for afternoon highs. Tomorrow's a nice day for us. Partly cloudy skies. Temperatures anywhere from 65 to 70 degrees for most of us, so it's mild. And then we get to the weekend, which is not as nice. Saturday, rain showers, 57 degrees. We get into some sunshine Sunday afternoon after showers in the morning. Monday's a good day at 65. Tuesday's nice and warm at 70, but we'll deal with showers and storms in the forecast. And then Wednesday, we would deal with partly cloudy skies. So almost every other day, with the exception of Sunday, Monday, Lauren and Raphael, we are dealing with a good day, bad day, good day, bad day, and temperatures that for the most part will be remaining fairly seasonable with the exception of Saturday and Sunday.
Todd, thank you. Our lawns will be much greener for that. The time now is 6:20. Business owners, independent contractors, and self-employed, they've connected with the Federal Payment Protection Plan to help them out. But not everyone is going to get the help. One group is being left out, those with criminal records. You see, business owners who have been convicted of or pleaded guilty to a felony in the last 5 years, they're not eligible for the payment protection program. The would-be applicants and their advocates say this isn't fair for those who have served their time and turned their lives around. The Small Business Administration, which oversees the program, has not yet responded to questions about this rule.
Well, all this extra time at home seems to be creating a surprising hazard. The CDC says accidental poisonings from home cleaning products rose the first 3 months of this year. They noticed about a 20% increase over rates from 2018 and 2019. Researchers don't know exactly why, but they suspect it's a side effect from all the stay-at-home orders in place. People generally have more time to clean, and some are using stronger products in efforts to keep the virus at bay. Poison Control Centers say they've seen an increase in calls about bleach and about children accidentally ingesting hand sanitizer.
The COVID-19 pandemic has shown us things can quickly just become a hot item. New at 6:27, consumer reporter John Matteries breaking down the latest item so you don't waste your money.
And get ready, sports fans. Tonight in ABC Prime Time, it's the NFL Draft like you've never seen it before. All virtual, but just as exciting as ever. Coming up on GMA, Robin Roberts goes one-on-one with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell in a live interview. It's 6:22. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Check up at Golden Oak Lending.
Welcome back. It is 6:24. Here's a live look at traffic south of downtown I-65 and Keystone Avenue. You can see it's picking up here on our screen. We have that traffic shift for a major construction project in this area. Lanes are restricted. If you're heading northbound, you'll need to slow down as you make that big curve to the left. We'll continue to keep you updated on this project as well as I-70 over on the east side. All right, Raphael, it is time to talk about what is trending at 6. I think we can all agree that we are dying for a little bit of sports action right now. It's been kind of quiet.
A lot of sports action.
Yes.
A lot of sports action.
We'll take anything we can get. So we know some top NFL draft prospects are spending their days leading up to the now virtual event saying thank you to the essential workers who are on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. So quarterbacks Tua Tagovailoa and Joe Burrow, as well as Carolina Panthers running back Christian McCaffrey, held surprise video calls with Lowe's sales associates in their hometowns. Lowe's is the official sponsor of the NFL. Very nice.
I am sending you a box of chocolates for saying Tua's last name.
Whew, I was just practicing, Raphael, so I hope I did okay.
A box of chocolates and $20. You're getting it from me.
I'll take it.
So she calls it a patient parade. COVID nurse Annabelle Vicknair wanted to make sure that her patient, 84-year-old Colonel Butler, got a warm send-off as he left St. James Parish Hospital in Louisiana. Butler spent 17 days in the hospital, and Vicknair says some looked very grim on some of those days. So she asked her co-workers to cheer Butler, as you can see, as he walked out of the building and was reunited with the family. Those are always great scenes of hope. We hope to see many more of those across the country and in our state as well.
Yes. Well, a veteran in West Virginia has been deciding to spend his $1,200 stimulus check on food for Americans who need it the most right now. Shannon Harshberger is a regular donor of Facing Hunger Food Bank. He says there's a lot of people who never thought they'd be in a position to ask for food. So his $1,200 donation will provide more than 9,000 meals for families in the Huntington area. What a generous donation, and so thankful for his service. All right, it is time to get a check of our forecast. Todd Clausen is standing by with what you need to know as you head out the door on this Thursday. It's a wet one, Todd.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty wet day for us here as we work our way throughout the day, Lauren, and this rain's already starting to make its way into the area as you walk out the door, and it's going to be with us pretty steady through at least the noon hour. Once we get past the noon hour, we're going to start to see it tail off more in the way of scattered showers. And you notice the temperatures, they are not going to move a whole lot here going forward in this forecast. So as we work our way throughout the morning hours, this rain will continue to work its way from southwest to northeast. It's a light rain, that's the good news, but it will get fairly steady here this morning. Once we get to this afternoon, the steady rainfall will give way to more in the way of scattered showers, but we're not concerned about any severe weather. That's the good news. We'll talk much more about this rainfall that is making its way into the area coming up in the next half hour here of Good Morning Indiana. I kind of got tongue-tied there talking about this rainfall moving in. Lauren and Raphael.
Todd, thank you so much. Time now is 6:28. We've seen toilet paper, meat, and hand sanitizer just fly off the shelves. Consumer reporter John Matarese with the latest item that's also now a hot commodity, so you don't waste your money.
It started with hand sanitizer. You couldn't find any in stores or online. Then more and more things started to become in short supply. Now you can add freezers to the list. We're all familiar with the toilet paper and hand sanitizer shortage, but now just when we're starting to hear about possible beef and pork shortages, you can't find a freezer anywhere. Home Depot and Lowe's stores are sold out, and their websites show many freezers on back order for months. The problem, as shoppers started stocking up on beef, chicken, and pork last month, many also grabbed storage freezers, and appliance stores never had many to begin with. Your best bet for finding one? Facebook Marketplace or Nextdoor, where you can ask if any of your neighbors have an old one they may want to sell. One caution, just don't set a regular refrigerator to its coldest setting. You might be able to freeze water, but it's nowhere near cold enough for a deep freeze. So always don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good Morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. The Tyson Foods plant in Logansport is voluntarily closing. The Indianapolis Star reports that 146 of the company's employees have tested positive for COVID-19. That's an overwhelming majority of Cass County's 193 total cases. Tyson says all 2,200 workers at the plant will be tested while it is closed.
In more local news, Metro Police say a man shot and killed on the city's west side appears to have been targeted by the shooter. Now, that gunfire reported around 7:15 last night at an apartment complex on West Kessler Boulevard North Drive and West 38th Street. The name of the victim has not been released, and police are still looking for a suspect.
The NFL draft begins tonight right here on RTV6. The first round starts at 8 p.m. Commissioner Roger Goodell will be announcing the picks from home, and all of the teams will be working remotely. Round 2 kicks off at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. That's when the Colts are set to make their first picks. Saturday's draft coverage starts at noon. It is Thursday, April 23rd. We want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey reporting here from RTV6 Studios. Raphael and Todd, good morning to you guys.
Good morning. I'm Rafael Sanchez from the living room in my home here in Johnson County. And, of course, our Todd Clausen is in a basement somewhere in Indianapolis. Of course, Todd, how are things there? No sun today and plenty of clouds. Yes?
Yeah, you know, the clouds are definitely in place, Raphael, across the area today. And some of those clouds already producing some rainfall across the area. If they're not producing any rain in your neighborhood right now, eventually we will get there later on this afternoon. A live look at Storm Team 6 radar shows the showers moving into the metro area, now spreading into Crawfordsville as well as Lebanon. Mooresville, Greenwood seeing some rain currently, as all this rain will continue to make its way here off towards the north and towards the northeast as we work our way throughout the course of the morning hours. So the further north and east you are, obviously it takes a little bit longer for the rain to make its way into your neighborhood. But the center of low pressure is still here near St. Louis. This has to make its way through the area, and as it does, it's going to take all this rain and it's going to pull it and make its way through central Indiana off into Ohio. So we deal with several hours of steady rainfall today. The good news is it's going to be very, very light. And as far as temperatures, we're sitting in the 50s right now. These temperatures won't really move a whole lot throughout the day today. Maybe a couple degrees in an upward direction to get us back up to about 56 to 57 degrees. But if you do have to be out and about running errands, make sure you have at least a hooded raincoat or the umbrella with you if you're going to be doing that later on today.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. And if you're heading out the door early this morning, we want to keep you updated on what the roads are looking like. Here's a view downtown at the North Split where traffic is moving along up to speed. The right side of your screen is quiet, though. We still have that eastbound I-70 closure between the North Split and 465 on the east side for that long-term INDOT construction project. A heads up, tomorrow early they are set to close the westbound lanes in that same area. That's a 30-day closure set to wrap up at the end of May. So we'll keep you updated on both of those major construction projects impacting drivers on the east side. Raphael?
Now the road to testing. The time now is 6:32. African Americans and people of color in our state and across the country have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19. Today, the city of Indianapolis and the Marion County Health Department will be fighting back with a new testing initiative. Alyssa Donovan is live this morning with what we can all expect in our city. Alyssa, fill us in, and good morning to you.
Good morning, Raphael. So 10% of the population here in Indiana is African Americans. However, 20% of the COVID-19 deaths across the state have been in that community. So a disproportionate number, which is why we are sparking this action amongst city and community leaders and state leaders today. We'll hear more about that later today at an announcement right around 10 a.m. Specifically in Marion County, 40% of COVID-19 deaths have been African Americans. That's why city officials are taking steps to bring more testing to populations who are impacted by this virus. Health officials have been working with the Indiana Minority Health Coalition and other organizations to improve testing availability. State leaders are also working to create more access to sites across Indiana where individuals can easily go and get tested.
It is something that does still require usually a nasopharyngeal swab, which usually requires the personal protective equipment to be able to do that testing, and making sure that they actually have the swabs and the viral transport media to do that. So that may be a barrier to some of them, and we are working to make sure that we identify those gaps and those barriers and remove those to the best of our ability.
Other states and cities have released similar data showing that African Americans make up a disproportionate number of COVID-19 cases and deaths. And Mayor Joe Hogg said, along with other city and community leaders, will be at that announcement this morning at 10 a.m. to give us more details on this new initiative. And of course, RTV6 will bring you the very latest. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. This morning, there are new questions about the early response to the coronavirus outbreak by Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar. The Wall Street Journal reports that the former Eli Lilly executive told President Trump back in January that the epidemic, in Azar's words, was under control. The Journal reports that Azar also claimed the January meeting that the CDC had quickly created a COVID-19 test just 8 days after the U.S. reported its first case. The claim turned out to not be true. Many hospitals and health systems also told the newspaper that Azar's department was too slow to release stimulus money to help fight the pandemic. This pandemic can be especially hard, we know, on the most vulnerable in our communities. So we checked in with Indianapolis-based Anthem Medicaid about how that organization is working to connect its members and provide a little relief to people during this time in need. Kimberly Roop is the president of Anthem Indiana Medicaid, who tells us they've been working to check on the most vulnerable members of our population during the stay-at-home order. Representatives have made thousands of calls to check in on people, especially those with chronic medical conditions, mental health issues, and disabilities. And so here at RTV6, we're looking at ways organizations are helping Hoosiers rebound out of this pandemic. So we asked Roop, what are some things people can do if they come across some uncertainty with their health coverage?
Certainly work with your employer. If it's not through your employer, work directly with your insurance company. And then certainly when it comes to Medicaid, I mean, we're here to help serve our customers. Call the number on the back of your card, and just share with them and be very candid about the situation that you're in.
Roop tells us she believes some good can come out of this difficult time. One thing is telemedicine. She says more people are getting connected to medical help right from home. Plus, just as Anthem donated PPE and other supplies, she says it's encouraging to see how communities are coming together during these trying times.
Coming together will help us rebound. Lauren, thank you so much. So wait times and benefits for the self-employed were some of the biggest issues that you had questions about during the RTV6 virtual town hall Rebound Indiana discussion with leaders of the Department of Workforce Development. We shared your concerns with the department's commissioner, chief of staff, and Indiana's chief unemployment officer. Now, while delays are still being worked out, the department has issued an unprecedented amount of benefits. Hoosiers received $276 million this past Friday, the 17th, through Sunday, the 19th. And that's more than all of the benefits that were paid out in our state in the year 2019. The department also says it is not concerned about running out of money.
Nobody should be worried about the state running out of funds here. There's an agreement that the state has with the federal government, and should our unemployment insurance trust fund run out of money, we would immediately turn on an agreement with them that allows them to advance us money to pay the claim.
Around 450,000 Hoosiers have applied for unemployment benefits since the middle of March. Later this morning, we'll get the latest numbers for the past week's applications for benefits. The time now is 6:37. We've also been hearing from many small business owners. They're frustrated that they did not receive part of the federal program known as the Payment Protection Plan, while some larger companies did, and so they're very angry about that. One business that did not get money from the federal Paycheck Protection Program was Merck's Family Dining in Delaware County in the city of Muncie. Owner Tim Merkel says the funding ran out as his bank processed his application. He posted a message on Facebook telling customers that the restaurant would likely have to close if business did not pick up. Merkel says the community of Muncie responded in a really big way.
The very next day, we were short-staffed, and it was just unbelievable how many people came through. It was very, very emotional. I mean, it's hard to see it and do it because people are they're wonderful here. This has got to be the best town I've ever lived in my life. Our customers are great.
The Hoosier spirit at work. Merkel says the diner has now been able to call back some of its laid-off workers.
Great news there, Raphael. Well, there's also help for people who may be having trouble paying their student loans right now. More than a dozen state and private school loan lenders have agreed to suspend payments. Last month, the stimulus bill passed by Congress put federal student loans into forbearance through September. The new private and state loan agreements provide a minimum of 3 months forbearance and waive late fees. The loan companies have also agreed to stop debt collection and not to send negative reports to credit agencies. If you'd like to take advantage of the program, you should contact the servicer of your student loans. Well, he caught COVID-19, but now he's recovered. So coming up, how this pediatrician is sharing his story and his blood plasma in hopes of helping others avoid this coronavirus. It's 6:39. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Curtly, thanks for watching.
Time now is 6:42. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. A Central Indiana pediatrician has recovered and is doing well after getting COVID-19. Now, he and many others, Lauren, are being asked to donate their blood plasma to help find a treatment for COVID-19.
Yeah, and Raphael, doctors say the work is promising, but it's going to take some time to see whether this will pay off. Our Kelsey Anderson spoke to that doctor about this process. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So for someone to donate plasma, they have to be symptom-free for at least 28 days. And that's why health experts are hoping to see a ramp up in plasma donations this week as people continue to beat the coronavirus.
I had a little bit of a sore throat, and I developed a very minimal cough that lasted about a week. And I was just a little fatigued.
Dr. Richard Keller is a pediatrician at IU Health. He tells me he started having symptoms of COVID-19 on March 10th. Sore throat, mild cough, and eventually losing his sense of smell.
And I wasn't diagnosed for another probably 2 weeks. So I had it very early on.
This week marked 28 days of being symptom-free for Dr. Keller. So he made a trip to the Indiana Blood Center to donate his plasma filled with antibodies to fight the virus.
They put an IV in is the worst part, and that takes about 45 minutes. They take your blood out, they separate the plasma, and then they give you your blood back.
Then that plasma will be transported to an area hospital to treat patients suffering from the disease. This method has been used for 4 patients so far at IU Health. And Dr. Nicholas Barros says it seems to be working.
And the patients that received the convalescent plasma last week, I think they're getting much better. One of them was extubated yesterday after being in the ventilator for over a week.
Dr. Barros says they can't say for certain that the plasma transfusion is the sole reason the patients are getting better, because other treatment methods were also being used. But he says trends across the country are showing that this method works. And it also gives survivors the opportunity to lend a helping hand.
Allows the community to participate in providing help and unite us all as, we're all here in the fight together.
Dr. Barros says no matter where you donate or which portal you use to sign up, it doesn't really matter because the plasma is being dispersed across the state to hospitals who need it in a statewide effort to beat this virus. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
They sing in unity even though they are far apart. Next, how one of the city's most beloved musical organizations keeps going through this pandemic. But first, let's check in with our very own Todd Clausen. Good morning, TK.
Raphael, good morning to you. Our rain chances are high throughout the day today. In fact, rain's already making its way into parts of central Indiana, and we basically deal with it every other day. Tomorrow's dry, high rain chances on Saturday. Sunday, just slight chances in the morning. We'll lay this forecast out for you in detail coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:45. Stay with us. We're back in just a few minutes.
$1 for the same flooring? Floors to your home, that's who.
Amazing voices, what an amazing sight. Their concerts are on hold, but boy, the Indianapolis Children's Choir isn't letting the pandemic keep them from getting together. And we're happy about that because they sound fantastic. Though they don't know when they'll be able to perform for a live audience again, the director says the choir has been continuing to hold rehearsals virtually, as you can see, for several weeks now.
it's more of a being in a production studio than being on a stage together and being able to create together. But at the same time, our singers are still learning, and that's the biggest thing. We want them still learning and growing.
Well, right now, the children's choir concerts are postponed until at least June, but they are putting out some virtual content on their Facebook page. You can find out more about supporting them there or at their website, icchoir.org. They are fantastic. All right, Todd, let's get a check of our Thursday forecast right now. It's going to be a wet one out there.
Yeah, it's not the best weather day for you, to be completely honest with you, with this rain that'll be moving in. But the good news is we're getting some rain here in spring for all the lawns. Many people put fertilizer down. This will help to knock the tree pollen down a little bit. And we're doing it without the threat of severe weather. So that's the good news. And we're not going to be dealing with flooding either, as we are just going to be dealing with light rain. You can see the rains with us. The greatest coverage, at least, is through the middle half of the day. And then it'll start to tail off as we work our way into the evening hours. Here's the rain showers right now, just slowly working their way to the north. They're running into a lot of dry air that's in place across the area. So not a lot of this is reaching the ground yet. A few sprinkles in downtown Indianapolis, some showers in Crawfordsville, as well as the Lebanon area. And then as we slide down to the south, you notice we're dealing with more in the way of a steady rainfall that's developed across southern portions of central Indiana. And in this area I have circled right now, that's where the heaviest of the rainfall is going to be throughout the entire day today. So the bigger picture shows a massive storm system. This stretches from here in central Indiana all the way down to the Gulf Coast, although we have some storms moving into Atlanta as well as making their way through Alabama. That's where the heaviest of the rain is going to fall. We'll just deal with this area of low pressure that's centered now just south of St. Louis. This will continue to make its way through the area and swing into Ohio as the day goes on. And that's what's going to bring us the rainfall. And that's why with the track of that low moving through southern Indiana, that's where the heaviest of the rain is going to be. For those of you in northern locations, it really takes a while this morning for the rain to get to you. So you'll have the opportunity to get out and about this morning. The best rain chances for Peru and Muncie are probably noon onward throughout the remainder of the day. But otherwise, everybody else is going to be dealing with these showers. They'll taper off to just spotty in nature this evening, and then overnight tonight will start to clear out. Temperatures today are sitting in the 50s right now in most locations, 149 there in Crawfordsville. And throughout the day today, temperatures really just don't do a whole lot. Pretty stagnant. We just go up maybe a couple degrees from where we are right now to highs in the mid 50s. Tomorrow's forecast, Friday, we end the work week with warmer conditions once again, as highs will be anywhere from 65 to 70 degrees, partly sunny skies. And then going into the weekend, Saturday's a pretty wet day, 57, some showers Sunday morning. The afternoon hours on Sunday are in pretty good shape. Monday's a great day at 65 and sunny, and then warm on Tuesday with showers and storms, though, in the forecast and a high temperature of 70 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look right now at traffic on the east side, I-70 and Arlington Avenue. I want to show you this view because you can really see the work that INDOT is doing in the eastbound lanes. That's why they're closed through about mid-May. The westbound side is moving up to speed today, but keep this in mind. Tomorrow morning, they are scheduled to close those lanes as well for a 30-day project. We'll keep you updated.
Next on Good Morning Indiana, it's time to get out your paints and your brushes so that you can make some happy little trees right here in your home. It's Throwback Thursday, and today we look back at RTV6's visit with a TV legend who made his magic right here in our state. The time now is 6:52. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on RTV6.
RTV6 app on your phone or streaming device.
As you know, we wash our brushes with odorless thinner, shake off the excess, and cover everybody in the studio. And that's what makes it fun.
Okay, so it's time for Throwback Thursday, and you think you've watched everything there is to watch, you may want to go back and check out this Hoosier classic.
That would be The Joy of Painting with the incomparable Bob Ross. What an amazing guy, what an amazing career. The public television painting show was produced in Muncie for 11 years. Ross's calming voice was the soundtrack for many Hoosier homes, and it still is today, more than 25 years after his death from cancer. Former Channel 6 anchor Barbara Lewis had a chance to speak to Ross about his show, 30 years ago.
What message do you want the viewer to get out of your program? The children, the adults, the painters, the non-painters.
Believe in yourself. You can do anything that you believe you can do. But you have to believe. And we try to teach people through painting that if you can see it here and you can believe that you can do it, that you can put it right up here on this canvas.
Ross tapes the joy of painting at WIPB, the public broadcasting station on the Ball State campus. The station personnel are family, he says, and Indiana produces some scenic lessons for his viewers.
I like to paint the covered bridges and etc. that I find around Muncie and Indianapolis in this area. There's some beautiful covered bridges. I go out to Matthews every once in a while to the Covered Bridge Festival and paint.
You can watch that entire report on Bob Ross at our website, theindychannel.com/history. And today would be a great day to paint some clouds and raindrops, Lauren, because it's going to be wet out there.
Yeah, you know, Raphael, there'll be a lot of clouds out there. And make sure if you are painting, you get the little ripples in the puddles that'll be across central Indiana. But everybody loves Bob Ross. Remember watching him when I was at my grandma's house all the time. All right, temperatures today will be in the 50s. Rain virtually at any point throughout the day, although it's a little more steady this morning into the early afternoon compared to this evening.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. And thank you for joining us. We're back in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with news, weather,